And we will continue. So now we're going to do departure from homeland. Because Gustav is still 7, Will is still 15. So we got a little ways to go before Gustav catches up with Will. Since he possessed a very strong anima, huh? Maybe some great destiny awaits Gustav. Who knows? So here we are back in the slums. It is pitiful to have to make you stay in such a place. Silmer's actually an interesting character. He is playable in one missable scenario. Like, you can actually use him in combat. And he is the only character in the game that can use a martial arts move that uses SP. It's called, he has a piece of special, like, stuck-on equipment that you can't take off called the Skelmerion, and it allows him to do wood and stone punch. He's the only character in the game that can use anima in its martial arts abilities. And like I said, it very foreign to probably us. I'm hoping it's a foreign concept to you that the king would actually have Gustav killed. But if you think about it, in a monarchy, it makes a lot of sense. He doesn't want Gustav to get on the throne anymore. But Gustav is still technically his oldest son, and still technically is the next in line for the throne. So, as long as Gustav is alive, any other children he has that he wants to put on the throne don't have as legitimate of a claim as Gustav does. Like I said, because technically he is next in line. So it would be a smart political move to have Gustav killed. That poor soldier probably just lost his job. I mean, because even if he never told anybody he let these people get away, somebody, you know, his superior is going to come up on him and say, "Why are you sleeping on the job?" And it's going to be a very long time before Gustav comes back here. We're going to save one more time. Well, we're going to save after every scenario. You know, it asks you, do you want to save? Yes, I do. So now Gustav is 12 years old. Gruagol, Southern Continent, the capital of Na. I know that text is a little hard to read. After Gustav and Sophie transferred here, they were given a mansion by King Sue of Na. 5 years have passed. Gustav has become infamous as a violent child. The fact that he is ungifted and that he is an outcast has twisted his mind as the years passed. His peculiar background as a member of the royalty of the Eastern Continent causes his peers to avoid him, taking away the thing most important to a young boy, friends. Gustav has only one follower, a boy named Flynn. Flynn patiently endures even Gustav's most violent acts and never leaves his side, for he too cannot use any spells. So as you can see, Gustav has kind of self-image issues, and because of that, he's become kind of a bully. I mean, the whole world constantly telling him he's worthless, except for his mother. He's constantly telling himself he's worthless. And the whole world thinks he's basically handicapped. When people look at Gustav and find out that he can't use spells, people look at him as the equivalent of someone who has no arms. You know? And bless his mother's heart, that's something that she's trying to, teach him. That he's not worthless. He's still a human being. He's still worth something. Now, I know he's technically being a jerk and not really being a nice guy here. That sound effect actually makes me giggle a little inside. One of the things I really like about the SaGa series as a whole is the style of the characters. Specifically in SaGa Frontier and Forward, when they got away from sprites and went to like these sort of hand-drawn models. I like the swagger that people have when they walk. I don't know why, but I just love that. It's not as apparent in this game as it is in SaGa Frontier 1. Man, they had some freaking swagger when they walked. They were like they had that pimp walk going on. It's like, ooh, look at me walk. So now Gustav is 13, and he learns about the art of smithery, a craft not found in Termis, which is where he's from, originally. Welcome to Jade. When Gustav turns 13, the King of Na grants him territory in the vicinity of Jade. Using this as an opportunity, Sophie takes Gustav with her and moves to Jade. Many speculate that the move is meant to prevent Gustav from being treated as a vassal of King Sue, and is an excuse to stay away from the king, who has been repeatedly approaching Sophie. Now, this is actually me walking around, and you can walk back into the mansion here. Can't really do anything here, but I mean, it's there. So anyway, let's talk about the buttons real fast while I've got control here. Triangle. O is cancel. X is confirm. So you want to hit X to talk to people. Square brings up this menu. You can save, look at your items, and you can look at, player created notes, your system config. That's all, well, the player notes is a little weird. Yeah. Basically, it automatically records combos that you've done, and that way you can look at a list and say, oh, yeah, that combo. Battle style, system config is just like, mono or stereo, things like that. Not much there. This is battle style. Now, you can look at your role, and roles are something that comes really more into play later. At this point, we've only got the solo action role. Each role does something different. They alter your stats in some way. It doesn't tell you how they alter their stats, like numerically. It just gives you a general idea. Although I actually do have a list of what does what here. You can hard code your action order and say, he goes first, he goes second, she goes third, he goes fourth. That way, to kind of set up a combo. And then, of course, you can change your members if you have more than 4. Unlike SaGa Frontier, where your party size was 5 members, here it is 4. And you can have up to 4 additional sub-party members. Although I can't think of a place in the game where you ever actually get 4 sub-members. I want to say that the most you ever can get is 2. But anyway, another great thing about this game is the L and R buttons. They act as shortcuts. L1 brings up your equipment menu. R1 brings up your arts menu. L2 brings up, well, basically a general see everyone in your party menu. And R2 brings up just general status. So let's talk a bit about arts. In this game there is martial arts, swords, axes, spears, staves, and bows as the main 6 weapons. We also have spells of the tree, water, stone, tone, fire, and beast animas. Gustav can actually not learn any spells. So yeah. If you look up there on the right where it says skill levels, the number there is your skill level in a piece of equipment or anima type. You can actually raise your skill level of anything as long as you cast do the appropriate action, whether it's using a spear to raise your spear levels, or or using a tree ability to raise your tree skills. Once again, Gustav's anima skills are capped at 0. He never gains any SP anyway, so there's that. Your skill levels do not affect your chance to spark new abilities. So, I mean, that's something that I think floats around on the internet and people are kind of iffy on that. What the skill level does is it raises the damage of your abilities, and it raises the chance that your abilities will cause their status effects. So if you have an attack that causes the status that stuns someone, the higher your ability, your skill level is with that type of weapon, the more damage the art will do, and the higher chance it will have to cause stun. The little pluses you see next to the weapon type means they have talent in that ability. That does 2 things. One, it makes it easier to learn arts. It's not like a humongous jump. It's not like it was in SaGa Frontier 1. In SaGa Frontier 1, people have hard-coded talents for specific techs. And if you do not have that hard-coded talent for a specific tech, your maximum learning rate for that tech in SaGa Frontier 1 is 1 in 256. Very, very hard to learn an ability. That's why it's so hard to learn Life Sprinkler if you don't have the ability to learn Life Sprinkler. In this game, it raises your base learning rate by a little bit, but you can still fairly successfully learn abilities you're not talented with. So, yeah. Another interesting thing about arts in this game, I keep wanting to call them techs, is that they're shared. If any arts that Gustav learns, Will has access to, and vice versa. So if I learn the most powerful sword art in the game and have it equipped on Gustav, it will show up for everyone. And that's really nice. The same thing with spells. So, yeah. Which is really great because specific people in this game can only spark specific spells. To my knowledge, everyone could spark every physical weapon art, but only specific people can spark specific spells. Be a man. As far as I know, he doesn't have anything you can fight. You can come in here and there's a bar. Okay. Nothing really important here. This other house here is the dresser he was talking about. Hidden throughout this game, there are little pocket station spots. Now, since the pocket station was not released in the United States, it's kind of a moot thing, but they just didn't take it out of the game. So anyway, this is where we want to go. Also, let's talk to her. Yeah, this is a nice touch here. The little bell, I think that's awesome. Now, Gustav starts with 1,000 crowns. There are two types of currency in this game. Crowns, which is the CR there, and chips, which you can trade chips in for crowns. Crown totals are character dependent. Will not have access to any of Gustav's crowns, and Gustav will not have access to any of Will's crowns. They're separate totals. However, every character in the game shares a chip total. So, the idea is basically, at a certain point in the game, you buy, like if you're almost done with the scenario, you go to a merchant, you buy as many items as you can, and you chip them. Also, your inventory is shared too, by the way. So, this inventory right here is shared. And, let me see. Your inventory is shared, you can hold a maximum of 64 items. The only thing that is not shared is, of course, equipment that is on somebody. So anything Gustav is wearing there is not shared. However, there is a way to retrieve characters' equipments. So, yeah. But the first thing we want to do here is we actually want to purchase some things with Gustav's money. The reason I say this is because there is actually some fairly decent equipment here for sale. That, yeah. Oh, by the way, where it says steel is said to resist anima, as far as I know, steel does not actually reduce the damage you take from spells, but steel items tend to have very high status defenses, but the steel amulet itself I don't find really worth it, because when you equip a steel item, it lowers your SP regeneration, and it lowers your maximum SP. So, it's not a really big deal for Gustav, because, well, he's Gustav. But, yeah, I want a light spear. Let's see. Let me get a flint axe. Let me get another light spear. I see, I don't need the hunter bow. But I just need the flint axe there. Do I want any fire charms? No. Alright. I'm gonna save the rest of his crowns. Let's see. One thing I would like to point out about items in this game is they have uses, just like Final Fantasy Legend. So the spears here have 60 uses, and the flint axe has 60 uses. Certain equipment has infinite uses, such as quells. Most armors, some armor pulls double duty as tools, and those will actually have uses as well. But let's talk to this blacksmith, because, well, the scenario is called Gustav and the Blacksmith, so he must be who we have to talk to. Oh, So smithing is kind of a lost art, huh? This is the gentleman I was talking about. He can't do spell arts very well, so he makes a kitchen knife out of steel. But his wife is good at using the stone kitchen knife, so she uses the spell arts to cook with. Like I said, everyone in this society, this whole society runs on the concept of anima. And Gustav's basically stuck in a world where he's got to get by with something that everyone else in the world takes for granted. So, over the course of the next 2 years, Gustav works with a blacksmith. And they start making Gustav's first sword. So basically, he's going to make a BFS that'll make Cloud weep with envy. Jeez. I don't know why I just randomly jumped over to memory card 2 there, but it did. Yeah, that NPC, that PC you saw there on the save icon, that's Will.